want to do a little video today. Always am fascinated with the science of creation, not just creation, but like the timeline of life on Earth. And out here today doing some sailplane gliding. It's a very busy airfield today with parachuters and motor-powered airplanes and all that. So it's a beautiful day. Very grateful to God for His creation and bringing us down safely. So before the flood of Noah, and for a while afterwards, the atmosphere of the Earth was thicker. It had enough water in the atmosphere that shielded humanity and all the life on Earth from the damaging solar radiation. And then not only did Adam kind of screw it up for us all, Adam and Eve, but also humanity just went really bad, and God regretted making us. So it changed the Earth. Like, I got at home some aquariums, and do little changes and keep the things going so that the plants grow well and the animals, the fish grow well, and the shrimp, and the little ecosystem that we create in the aquariums. But it's not unlike what God did on Earth with humanity and all the animals, which, like the dinosaurs, were also lived with humanity. We like to, the narrative that they like to say is like the dinosaurs died off millions of years. But with the lifespan of the Earth as we know it and can study it, there's no way that the Earth could have been going around the sun for millions of years, because the atmosphere, well, the Earth is, it's like the theory of some decay, I forget what it's called, but like when you spin something, it's going to slowly stop spinning, like getting slower and slower and stop spinning. And that's happening with the Earth and the moon. Like the moon is flying further away from the Earth, and the Earth is not spinning as fast. And also in the universe, we haven't seen any new stars born. We think we see some now way outside the solar system. We see now, or the universe, the galaxy, that we now see with the James Webb Telescope. But that's another topic of discussion. But so anyway, so currently the atmosphere of the Earth is so that we need these long wings to fly. But before the flood of Noah, the atmosphere was thicker. We were shielded from solar radiation. There's more pressure in the atmosphere. Like flies could get like this big, and humans were also big. Neil deGrasse Tyson was saying that, well, human population is going to get so much that there's not enough Earth for all of humanity. So it doesn't really make sense that life stays on Earth like forever, because there will eventually be so many humans that the Earth cannot sustain us. And Mr. Degassi likes to say, like, there was an ice age, but there's really no evidence of an ice age other than the Earth under the water. We can clearly see there was more land. So, there still is, but there was less water on land. And before the flood, people just don't want to face the fact that there was a global flood, and the Earth had a ring, and caused us to age slower, to grow bigger. So we had giants. They always say that the Smithsonian is hiding the skeletons of giants, but I don't think we don't know that that's intentionally. It might be just that they need to store them safely so they don't decay more over time. It's not necessarily a conspiracy. It might just be because we have old movies of, like, what was it, Journey to the Center of the Earth or whatever, where there's like cavemen under there, and they're like giants. They're like They have them looking like Neanderthals, but they're big, they're giant. So even evolutionists believe that we had huge humans at some point. Under the landing strip here. Here comes something in. I tend to make these videos too long. But anyway, so I was just brainstorming about creation and the timeline that must have been, like, there couldn't have been an ice age, because we would have evidence of that. And the only evidence they're trying to say is that there was less water on the earth, so it must have been frozen at the poles and snow or whatever. But that doesn't fit the history that we have recorded in all cultures. There's like 0 cultures recording a huge ice age, but there are cultures, every culture that has a flood story, because we all came from that one family that was left after the flood, Noah and his kids. So every culture has that story in it, because it's historic. It's like when you want to find out where an earthquake occurred, you have sensors set in separate locations, and then you can tell about how far it was, and then you can find the epicenter. You can do the same thing with like history and biblical facts. So you take a bunch of different texts, and for like the New Testament for Christ, the texts are like we got over 5,000 copies of the original letters written between people, eyewitnesses of Christ. So and they all agree to a minuscule amount, to like 99%, and that 1% is just the way they address Christ instead of Christ Jesus. They say Jesus Christ. So really, there's a massive amount of evidence, and not just with the Bible, which is technically a library of ancient texts, but also through cultures and like history of Rome and Egypt. These things confirm biblical events. There has been no biblical or no archaeological discovery that's disproven anything from the Bible. It's never happened. So, if you don't want to believe the Bible and you want to prove it wrong, well, good luck, because so far all the archaeological evidence has proved it correct. And the only thing trying to prove it incorrect are theories, and they're unproven theories. The people that were there, like with God right after creation, like Adam and Eve, their stories were told to their kids, like almost first and second hand witnesses, and that was told to, like, by the time it got to Noah and Moses, it wasn't that many people in between from the original story. Plus Moses was directly in the presence of God on the top of Mount Sinai, so plus at the burning bush. So he had first-hand account of talking with God who created everything, so anyway, it's just scientifically with how the earth is today. We tend to go with the way things are now, and we try to gauge the radioactive decay of carbon molecules, so carbon dating. And when the earth was covered with more water, around the earth with a ring and a canopy, the radioactive decay was like practically 0. So technically all you're really doing is counting back to the flood with your radioactive decay or carbon dating. Anyway, it's just something to think about, and I might do a better video of this later, which I suck at videos, and I'm not really that good of a speaker, so if you can listen and understand my videos, God bless you.